Have you ever felt like everyone around you is moving forward with their life, and somehow you are just standing in the same place, trying to figure things out?
Yeah, that feeling can be really heavy sometimes.
Maybe you are feeling behind in your career, or maybe your English is not improving as fast as you hoped, and you keep telling yourself that you should be better by now.
And when a new year like 2026 is coming, the pressure becomes even stronger because it feels like this year has to be different, like this is your big chance to fix everything.
You might be feeling tired, not only in your body but also in your mind, because you tried before and you were motivated before, and still things did not go exactly the way you planned.
And slowly, without even noticing, you start thinking that maybe you are not disciplined enough, or maybe you are just not good enough.
If that is happening inside you right now, we want you to just pause and breathe with us for a moment.
You are not broken, and you are not weak, and you are definitely not alone in feeling this way.
So many people are quietly struggling with the same thoughts, especially when they want to improve their English and change their life at the same time.
In this episode, we are not going to push you or shout motivation at you, because real change does not grow well under pressure.
We are going to talk slowly and honestly about how to make 2026 your comeback year in a calm and realistic way.
And if you enjoy this kind of soft, supportive English practice, you can subscribe to this podcast, because we are building a space where learning feels safe and growth feels possible.
You do not have to rush here.
You can just listen, relax, and grow step by step with us.
Welcome to Boost English, the podcast, where we speak slowly, think deeply, and grow gently together.
We are really, truly happy that you decided to press play today, because choosing to spend your time learning and reflecting says something important about you. It shows that you care about your future, even if you sometimes feel confused about it. It shows that you still have hope, even if you feel tired. And yeah, that matters more than you think.
Maybe you are listening in the morning before work.
Maybe you are listening at night when everything is quiet.
Or maybe you are just taking a small break in your day.
Wherever you are right now, just know that this is a calm space. There is no competition here. There is no pressure to be perfect. There is no need to understand every single sentence.
Today we are talking about how to change your life. But we are not talking about extreme change. Not the kind of change that starts with a big announcement and ends with burnout 2 weeks later.
We are talking about slow change, real change, the kind that feels possible.
Because if we are honest, most of us have already tried the dramatic version.
We said, from tomorrow, everything will be different.
We made long lists,
Big goals.
strict rules,
And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, we felt powerful.
but then life became busy. Or we felt tired. Or something unexpected happened.
And slowly we stopped.
And that stopping can feel very painful. It can make you question yourself. It can make you think, why can't I stay consistent, or why do I always lose motivation?
So today, we want to gently offer a different idea.
What if change does not need to feel heavy?
What if it can feel light?
What if it can be small, quiet, almost invisible at first, and still create real results over time?
That feels softer, right?
While we explore this topic, you are also practicing English. And we want to remind you of something very important.
You do not need to understand every word.
Really.
Language learning is not about catching 100% of the meaning immediately. It is about exposure. It is about listening again and again. It is about letting your brain slowly get used to the rhythm, the sounds, the patterns.
Sometimes you think you do not understand much. But later, when you hear a similar sentence, suddenly it feels familiar.
That is your brain working quietly in the background.
Kind of like planting seeds in soil. You cannot see the roots growing. But they are growing.
So if a sentence feels difficult, do not panic.
If your mind drifts for a moment, that is okay.
If you need to listen again later, that is completely normal.
You are not slow.
You are learning.
And learning takes time.
In this podcast, we choose to speak in a calm and natural way. Not too fast. Not too complicated. We use real-life conversation because real conversation is what you need in daily life.
You want to order coffee.
You want to talk to a colleague.
You want to introduce yourself confidently.
These moments do not require perfect grammar. They require comfort and practice.
So let this be practice.
You can sit comfortably right now. Maybe relax your shoulders a little. Maybe take a slow breath.
You do not have to perform here.
You do not have to prove anything.
You are allowed to simply listen.
And as we talk about changing your life for 2026, remember this: change does not start with pressure. It starts with awareness.
It starts with noticing how you feel.
It starts with saying, okay, this is where I am right now.
Not judging. Just noticing.
Maybe right now you feel motivated.
Maybe you feel lost.
Maybe you feel somewhere in between.
All of that is welcome here.
We are not here to tell you that you must wake up at 5 a.m. or work harder than everyone else. We are not here to compare you to someone on social media who looks perfect.
We are here to remind you that small steps are powerful.
And that you are allowed to grow at your own speed.
Yeah, your own speed.
Some people run fast.
Some people walk slowly.
Some people take breaks and then continue.
All of that is still movement.
So as you listen today, just be present.
Let the English enter your ears naturally.
Let the ideas sit with you.
You do not need to take notes.
You do not need to memorize everything.
Just listen.
And maybe, somewhere in this conversation, one sentence will stay with you.
One idea will feel right.
One small action will feel possible.
That is enough.
Learning can be calm.
Growth can be gentle.
And changing your life does not have to feel like a battle.
It can feel like a quiet decision you make again and again.
We are really glad you are here with us.
Let's continue slowly.
You know, when people say, just change your life, it sounds simple, but in real life it rarely feels simple.
Yeah, it sounds easy in a short video or a motivational quote, but when you wake up in the morning and feel tired again, it does not feel easy at all.
Sometimes the hardest part is not the action. It's the feeling before the action. That heavy feeling in your chest when you think, here we go again.
Especially if you have tried before.
Maybe you told yourself last year, this is my year. I will improve my English. I will become confident. I will build better habits.
And for a while, you really believed it.
You downloaded apps. You watched lessons. You wrote plans in a notebook.
And then, slowly, you stopped.
Not because you are lazy.
But because life is complicated.
Maybe work became stressful.
Maybe family needed your attention.
Maybe you just felt mentally exhausted.
And when you stopped, even for a short time, that voice in your head started talking.
See? You always quit.
You are not consistent.
Other people are better than you.
That voice can be very convincing.
Yeah, and it knows exactly where you feel insecure.
For many English learners, that insecurity shows up when speaking.
You can read.
You can understand podcasts.
But when it is your turn to speak, your mind goes blank.
Your heart beats faster.
You start thinking about grammar rules while trying to talk.
And suddenly, even a simple sentence feels difficult.
I remember once I was in a conversation with someone who spoke very fluently. They were relaxed, smiling, speaking naturally.
And I kept thinking, I sound so slow compared to them.
Instead of listening, I was comparing.
And comparison steals your focus.
It makes you forget your progress.
Right, because you are measuring your chapter 1 against someone's chapter 10.
And that is not fair.
We rarely see the years of practice behind someone's confidence.
We only see the result.
But confidence is built in private.
In small, quiet moments.
In mistakes.
In awkward conversations.
In trying again after feeling embarrassed.
There is also fear.
Fear of being judged.
Fear of sounding silly.
Fear of making mistakes in front of others.
And sometimes, to avoid that fear, we choose silence.
We say, I will speak when I am perfect.
But perfection never comes.
So silence becomes comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable but also limiting.
Because every time you choose not to speak, a small part of you feels disappointed.
And that disappointment builds slowly.
It turns into frustration.
Then frustration turns into doubt.
And doubt turns into the belief that maybe you are just not good at languages.
But that belief is not a fact.
It is just a story you started telling yourself after a few difficult moments.
We all have those stories.
I am not disciplined.
I am not confident.
I am not talented.
But what if those are just temporary feelings, not permanent truths?
Think about something you can do today that you could not do 5 years ago.
Maybe you are more patient.
Maybe you handle stress better.
Maybe your English, even if not perfect, is much stronger than before.
Growth is often invisible because it happens slowly.
You do not notice it daily.
But when you look back, you see it.
Sometimes we expect change to feel dramatic.
We expect a big moment when everything suddenly becomes easy.
But most of the time, change feels boring.
It feels like repeating small actions.
Listening to one podcast.
Speaking one sentence.
Trying again after a mistake.
And yes, sometimes feeling frustrated.
That is normal.
There were days when I did not feel motivated at all.
I would open a book, read 2 pages, and feel distracted.
And my first thought was, this is useless. I am not improving.
But improvement is not always exciting.
It is often quiet and slow.
Kind of like going to the gym.
You do not see muscles growing after one workout.
But if you go consistently, over time, your body changes.
Language works the same way.
Life habits work the same way.
The problem is not that you are incapable.
The problem is that you expect fast results in a slow process.
And when fast results do not appear, you feel discouraged.
So maybe instead of asking, why am I not better yet?
You can ask, am I showing up even a little?
Because showing up matters.
Even if it is messy.
Even if it is imperfect.
Even if you speak slowly and search for words.
That is still progress.
And maybe 2026 does not need to be the year you become perfect.
Maybe it can simply be the year you stop giving up on yourself so quickly.
The year you treat yourself with a little more patience.
The year you allow yourself to be a beginner without shame.
That sounds softer, right?
Less pressure.
More consistency.
Less comparison.
More self-trust.
You do not need to be fearless to change your life.
You just need to be willing to try again.
And again.
Even when it feels uncomfortable.
Especially when it feels uncomfortable.
Because discomfort is often a sign that you are growing.
And growth is rarely loud.
It is usually quiet.
Just like this conversation.
Slow.
Simple.
Human.
And completely enough.
Sometimes I think we put too much pressure on 1 year.
Yeah. Like we expect 1 year to fix everything that felt wrong before.
We say, 2026 will be my comeback year, and it sounds powerful, but also kind of heavy.
Because what if it doesn't look dramatic?
What if your comeback is quiet?
I like to think about life as a book.
Not one page. Not one chapter. A whole book.
And every year is just one chapter.
Some chapters are exciting. Things change fast. You feel confident. You feel strong.
Other chapters are slower, maybe even confusing. You are learning, but you don't see big results yet.
And when you are inside a slow chapter, it can feel like the whole story is boring or disappointing.
But when you look back later, you realize that slow chapter was important.
It was building something.
It was teaching you patience.
It was teaching you discipline.
It was preparing you for the next part.
Yeah, and no good story has only perfect chapters.
There are mistakes. There are setbacks. There are moments when the main character feels lost.
But that is what makes the story real.
If everything was easy, the growth would not feel meaningful.
Maybe 2025 was not your best chapter.
Maybe it felt messy.
Maybe you stopped studying English for a while.
Maybe you doubted yourself more than you wanted to admit.
But that does not mean the story is over.
It just means you are between chapters.
Another metaphor I like is seasons.
Life has seasons just like the year.
There is summer, when everything feels bright and active.
You feel motivated. You feel social. You feel productive.
And then there is winter.
Winter is slower,
Colder.
quieter.
Sometimes you stay inside more. You think more. You rest more.
And if you try to force summer energy during winter, you feel frustrated.
Because it is not the right season.
Maybe right now you are in a quiet season,
A learning season.
a rebuilding season.
And that is okay.
Winter is not a failure.
Winter is preparation.
Under the ground, even when everything looks still, roots are growing.
You cannot see them.
But they are there.
Learning English can feel like that.
You listen to podcasts.
You read small texts.
You try to speak.
And sometimes it feels like nothing is changing.
But inside your brain, connections are forming.
New patterns are building.
Confidence is slowly growing.
It is just not loud yet.
Life is also like a journey.
Not a short trip. A long journey.
Imagine you are walking on a long road.
If you walk for 10 minutes, the change in location feels small.
You might even feel like you are still close to where you started.
But if you walk 10 minutes every day for 1 year, you will be very far from your starting point.
The problem is that we measure progress daily.
We say, I practiced English today. Why am I not fluent?
But fluency is the result of many small days combined.
1 day feels small.
1 week feels small.
But 1 year of small days? That is powerful.
Also, think about a river.
A river does not rush all the time.
Sometimes it flows gently.
Sometimes it moves around rocks.
Sometimes it slows down.
But it keeps moving.
And over time, that gentle water shapes mountains.
Not with force.
But with consistency.
You do not need to break the mountain in 1 day.
You just need to keep flowing.
There is something comforting about that.
You do not need extreme motivation.
You do not need perfect conditions.
You just need direction.
And direction can be simple.
It can be as small as saying, "This year, I will not quit after 1 bad week."
Or, this year, I will speak even if my sentence is not perfect.
Those small decisions are powerful.
Because they change how you see yourself.
Instead of seeing yourself as someone who always stops, you start seeing yourself as someone who continues.
Even slowly.
Especially slowly.
And maybe your comeback in 2026 is not about becoming a completely different person.
Maybe it is about trusting yourself a little more.
Maybe it is about being kinder to yourself when you make mistakes.
Maybe it is about understanding that growth is not always visible.
When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing.
You water it.
You give it sunlight.
You wait.
In the same way, you practice.
You listen.
You speak.
You wait.
And one day, you realize something feels easier.
A sentence comes faster.
A conversation feels more natural.
That is growth.
Not dramatic.
But real.
So if you feel behind right now, remember this.
You are in a chapter.
You are in a season.
You are on a journey.
And journeys are not meant to be rushed.
They are meant to be lived.
One calm step at a time.
And that is more than enough.
You know, sometimes we get overwhelmed because we try to change everything at once. I mean, it's easy to wake up on January 1st and say, this is the year. I will learn English perfectly. I will exercise every day. I will eat healthy. I will be organized. I will wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, and that's a lot, right? Our brain doesn't really like big leaps like that. It sees all those goals and kind of freezes. And when we freeze, we stop. And then we feel guilty for not doing everything. And that guilt makes us want to give up.
So, what if we try something different? Something smaller. Something quiet. Something almost invisible to other people. That is where micro-actions come in. Micro-actions are tiny steps you can take every day that feel easy, not stressful. They are small, but over time, they add up to big change.
For example, instead of saying, I will study English for 2 hours every day, you could start with just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes of listening to a podcast. 5 minutes of repeating a phrase. 5 minutes of reading one short paragraph. That's it. It doesn't sound like much, but your brain starts noticing the habit. Your confidence grows slowly, like a gentle wave.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Micro-actions work because they are safe. You are not setting yourself up for failure. You are not saying, I must do everything perfectly. You are saying, I can do a little today. And that little today often leads to another little tomorrow. And another little the day after. And soon, the little steps feel natural. They feel normal. And the habit builds itself almost quietly, like the tide coming in slowly.
Another micro-action is speaking one sentence out loud every day. You don't need a whole conversation. Just one sentence. Maybe it's, today is a beautiful day. Or, I want to learn one new word today. Just one sentence. That sentence practices your pronunciation, your confidence, and your comfort with speaking. It's simple, but it works.
You can also use micro-actions in life outside of English. Maybe it's drinking water first thing in the morning. Maybe it's writing one line in your journal. Maybe it's making your bed. These are small habits that give your day a little structure, and structure makes bigger goals feel possible.
Right? And the magic is consistency. The steps don't have to be big. They just need to be repeated every day. 5 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a week. The repetition trains your brain. It trains your confidence. And it slowly builds your identity. You start seeing yourself as someone who acts. Someone who keeps going even if it's tiny.
And here's another idea. Pair your micro-actions with something you already do. This is called habit stacking. For example, you drink coffee every morning. While you drink your coffee, say one sentence in English. Or, you brush your teeth every night. While brushing, repeat a new word. That way, you don't need extra willpower. The action is connected to something you already do naturally. It becomes easy.
Also, celebrate the small wins. Maybe you remembered a word correctly. Maybe you said one sentence without hesitation. Maybe you listened for 5 minutes and didn't get distracted. These are wins. And acknowledging them makes your brain feel good. It rewards you, and this reward makes you want to continue.
Yeah, and don't forget to make it enjoyable. Micro-actions work best when they are not stressful. If listening to English feels like a chore, it won't stick. But if you choose a topic you like music, cooking, or travel, then learning feels like a small pleasure every day. You look forward to it instead of avoiding it.
Another micro-action is writing one word or phrase in a notebook each day. You don't need full sentences. Just one word. Just one phrase. And at the end of the week, look back at all your words. That little notebook becomes proof of progress. Even if it feels tiny at the moment, it is visible evidence of your growth. And that is motivating.
And micro-actions can be social too. Say hello to a friend in English. Or send one short message in English to someone online. You are using your language in real life. And real life is the fastest way to grow.
I like to remind listeners that micro-actions also build emotional strength. You learn patience. You learn self-kindness. Because when you choose a small action, you are not punishing yourself. You are taking care of yourself. And that feeling carries over to other parts of life.
So here's a gentle plan you can try. 5 minutes of listening, 1 sentence spoken, 1 word written, repeated daily. That's it. It's simple. It's doable. And most importantly, it is kind to your mind and your heart.
And if some days you miss it, that's okay too. Microactions are flexible. You are not failing. You are still learning. You are still growing. You just start again tomorrow. The key is continuity, not perfection.
And slowly, over weeks and months, you will notice change. Your brain will feel sharper. Your confidence will grow. Your sentences will come easier. You will see that small steps, repeated, create something big. And the best part? It feels natural. It doesn't feel like pressure. It doesn't feel overwhelming. It feels like a gentle, steady path forward.
So today, I invite you to choose one microaction. Just one. Maybe listening to one short podcast clip. Maybe saying one sentence out loud. Maybe writing one word. Do it now. Or plan exactly when you will do it today. And tomorrow, do it again. Keep it small, keep it gentle, keep it consistent. And your 2026 comeback will begin quietly, but powerfully.
Because the quiet steps always lead to strong, lasting change.
This is your gentle reminder that progress does not need to be loud. Microactions are proof. Tiny actions are powerful. And slowly you are becoming more confident, more fluent, and more capable.
You know, one of the best ways to feel confident in English is to have a few simple phrases ready for everyday situations. And today, I thought we could go slowly through some phrases we actually used in our conversation earlier. That way, you hear them in context, and then we can break them down together.
Okay, let's start with something really easy. The first phrase is, I feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, this is such a common feeling, right? Maybe you have big goals, big dreams, and suddenly your brain feels like it can't handle everything. You can say, I feel overwhelmed, and it's a short, clear way to express that feeling.
Right, and you can use it almost anywhere. At work, with friends, or even when practicing English. For example, I feel overwhelmed because I have too many tasks today. Simple. And it tells people how you feel without needing long explanations.
The next phrase is, I will try a little today.
I really like this one. It's soft, gentle, and it reminds you that progress doesn't need to be huge. You can say it to yourself or even to someone encouraging you. For example, I will try a little today, just 5 minutes of reading. It's small, but it's realistic and kind.
Yeah, and saying it out loud also trains your brain to focus on action, not pressure. You are not saying, I must do everything perfectly. You are saying, I will try a little. And that little often grows into a lot.
Another useful phrase is, it's okay to be slow.
This one is so important for learners. Sometimes we feel like we should speak perfectly or understand everything immediately. But slow is okay. You can say, it's okay to be slow. I am learning step by step. That sentence reminds your brain to be patient, and it also communicates to others that you are taking your time.
Right? Slow doesn't mean weak or bad. Slow can mean careful, strong, thoughtful. And using this phrase helps you remember that while learning English or making life changes, slow progress is still progress.
Next, we have, I will repeat it again.
Yeah, repetition is key in learning. And saying, I will repeat it again, gives you permission to go over words, sentences, or phrases without feeling bad. For example, I didn't understand the sentence. I will repeat it again. Simple, effective, and emotionally supportive.
Exactly. And when you repeat, your confidence grows. Your memory strengthens. And slowly, the words start to feel natural in your mouth.
Another phrase to practice is, I feel small sometimes.
This is very human. Everyone feels small or insecure occasionally, especially when comparing themselves to others. Saying, I feel small sometimes, helps you acknowledge the emotion instead of hiding it. For example, I feel small sometimes when I see people speaking fluently. Simple, honest, and soft.
Right, and after that, you can also say, but I am still growing.
Yes, that's the follow-up. It's like a gentle reassurance to yourself. You are not perfect, you are not behind, you are just in the process. You can say, I feel small sometimes, but I am still growing. And that sentence is full of hope.
Okay, another practical phrase is, I will focus on one small step.
Yeah, this is a micro-action phrase. You can use it anytime you feel stuck or overwhelmed. For example, today, I will focus on one small step. Just 5 minutes of listening. It keeps things simple and doable, instead of letting your brain panic about everything at once.
And it's kind to your mind. Big goals can feel heavy, but one small step feels light and manageable. And over time, one small step every day builds a big habit.
The next phrase is, I can do this quietly.
Yeah. English learning doesn't need to be loud or showy. You can do it quietly at your own pace. For example, I can do this quietly at home, listening to a podcast for 5 minutes. It reminds you that you don't need anyone else to approve. Your growth is private, gentle, and powerful.
Another phrase is, I am allowed to pause.
This is so useful. Pausing is normal. You can pause when speaking, when thinking, or even when practicing. Saying, I am allowed to pause, gives yourself permission to slow down. For example, I am allowed to pause while I speak. It's okay to take my time.
Right, it's like telling your brain, no rush. No stress. And slowly, your fluency improves because you are calm and confident, not anxious.
We also have, I will celebrate small wins.
Yeah, celebrating little things is very motivating. It could be remembering a word, saying a sentence without hesitation, or finishing a short exercise. For example, I will celebrate small wins today, even if it's just one sentence. That builds emotional strength as well as confidence in English.
And finally, one more phrase, I am becoming more confident.
Yeah, this phrase reminds you that learning is a journey. You are not perfect yet, but you are improving. You can say, I am becoming more confident, slowly, every day. And that feeling carries over to speaking, listening, and even life outside English.
So today we practiced these 10 phrases slowly and carefully.
I feel overwhelmed.
I will try a little today.
It's okay to be slow.
I will repeat it again.
I feel small sometimes.
But I am still growing.
I will focus on one small step.
I can do this quietly.
I am allowed to pause.
I will celebrate small wins.
I am becoming more confident.
The key is to practice these phrases every day, quietly, gently, with repetition. Say them out loud. Write them down. Think about them in real situations. And slowly, these phrases will become part of your English. They will become part of your mindset.
Yeah, and remember, it's not about speaking perfectly. It's about feeling calm, confident, and supported. Using these phrases regularly will remind you that learning can be gentle, and life change can be quiet but strong.
So maybe today, pick 2 or 3 phrases from this list and use them. Say them out loud. Repeat them during your day. Notice how your feelings shift. And with time, you will see that even small words can make a big difference in your confidence and your learning journey.
Before we finish today, let's slow down for a moment.
Maybe take one deeper breath than usual.
Yeah, just a little slower.
You made it to the end of this episode, and that might sound small, but it actually means something. You chose to sit here and listen. You chose to spend this time learning, reflecting, thinking about your future. That is not nothing.
Sometimes we forget to give ourselves credit for small things.
We only celebrate big results.
But big results are built from small, quiet decisions like this one.
Maybe right now you are still feeling unsure about 2026.
Maybe part of you feels hopeful, and another part feels scared to hope again.
That's normal.
When you have tried before and things didn't go perfectly, your heart becomes a little careful.
Says, be realistic. Don't expect too much.
And being realistic is okay.
But being hopeful is also okay.
You don't have to choose one or the other.
You can be careful and hopeful at the same time.
You can say, I know change is hard, but I will try gently.
Yeah, gently is the key word.
You don't need to become a different person next year.
You don't need a dramatic transformation.
You don't need to wake up one day and suddenly feel fearless and perfectly disciplined.
You just need to keep going.
Even slowly.
Even imperfectly.
There will be days in 2026 when you feel motivated and strong.
And there will be days when you feel tired and distracted.
Both kinds of days are part of the journey.
One bad day does not destroy your progress.
One missed practice session does not mean you failed.
One awkward English sentence does not mean you are bad at languages.
It just means you are learning.
And learning always includes mistakes.
Think about children learning to speak.
They say words incorrectly.
They mix grammar.
They repeat sounds.
And nobody tells them they are failures.
We smile.
We encourage them.
We understand that this is part of growth.
You deserve that same patience.
You deserve that same kindness.
Maybe in 2026, your biggest change will not be your English level.
Maybe it will be the way you talk to yourself.
Maybe instead of saying, I am so bad at this, you will say, I am improving.
Maybe instead of saying, I always quit, you will say, I can restart.
That shift is powerful.
Because the way you speak to